Hi students, today we are going to be going over the metric measurement of mass. So this is in your packets, the page that says metric measurement mass. So mass is the amount of matter in an object. And the basic unit of mass in the metric system is the gram. And so you can see on our chart that we have the kilogram, the hectogram, decagram, gram, decigram, centigram, and milligram. And you can also see the abbreviations for those above the words. So today, Mrs. Tracy is going to be demonstrating two ways of measuring mass. She's going to show you the electronic scale, and then she's going to show you how to use the triple beam balance to measure mass.
Okay, so we're going to trade off so you can take a look at our two pieces of equipment for measuring mass. Both are in grams. So first of all, electronic balance you're pretty familiar with. Basically the pan, and then you put the object on when it is at 0. If something's not working, please tell one of us and we will try and re-tear it or figure out what the issue is. It's pretty easy to use. After a couple seconds it will give you an automatic read in grams. The only thing is, I know that it would be really fun to put your hand on here, but the force of your hand is much greater than the scale can hold and you will break the scale. Scales are usually around $500 to $1,000 each, $500 to $1,000 each. The other one, which also is great for measuring grams, is the triple beam balance, or the TBB. This actually you have to manipulate. So when you go to a doctor's office, usually the nurse puts you on a scale and manipulates the riders to figure out how much you weigh. It's very similar. So we have our pan here where you place the item. Then we have 3 scales, so to speak, hence the triple beam balance since there's 3 of them. In the back there are the 10 or units of 10 grams. In the middle are the 100 grams, and then in the front is the 1 grams. So basically what you do is, the goal is to get the arrow line to the 0. So that is the goal. It might hover a little bit up and down, but the goal is really to line up that pointer to the 0. So what you're going to do is, let's take the rock. So we're going to put it on the pan, and you will notice that the arrow goes up. Then what you're going to do is, we always start with the 100 scales, or the riders. So you will actually physically kind of pick it up and it clicks into a notch, and you will notice that the pointer goes below the 0. That is a great indication that this object is less than 100 grams. So we pick this back up again, put it back into its notch at 0, and now we start working with the tens. So we cruise it to 10, let it click, still okay. Cruise it to 20, to 30, to 40, to 50. Okay, so now there's an indication that this rock is going to be probably less than 50 grams. So what we want to do is, we want to go back to 40, and now we're going to use our 1 grams to kind of fine-tune the actual mass of the rock. So very carefully, you don't want to do this because you're never going to get the actual measurement. You want to carefully use your finger. Some people like to use the eraser on their pencil and move this over very carefully. And what we're trying to have happen is that pointer lining up to the 0. And we're getting there. So now what we would do is, we would add any of the riders that are from the 0 position. So we have 40, and this is very similar to our ruler, and we have 8. What do you think, Miss Ryan?
I would say about 0.9.
8.9.
40, 8.9.
So 48.9 grams. So we would add these two riders together. So that would be the mass of the rock. To take it off, just take it off, put your riders back to 0. So let's do the gum, something that's probably going to have a very, very small mass. Same thing, place it on the pan. So some of you are going to start to make predictions that it's going to be less than 100 grams. That's fine, but if you want to make sure, you can always move the 100 out. It's obviously less than 100. You can move the 10 out, click it into the notch. It's less than 10 grams. So now fine tune with your ones. Getting there. And the mass of this gum, Miss Ryan, would be what?
Probably about 6.3 grams.
6.3 grams, excellent, because we don't have any hundreds outs or tens. So we just use this measurement. And then we take it off, make sure that the riders go back. Of course, just like the electronic scale, please do not put your hand on the pan. Your force is much greater. Please only mass the items that we suggest. No, trapper keepers, science binders, all of those things. Only the items that we allow, please, because these pieces of equipment are very expensive. So now it's your turn to start measuring with the TBB today.